What is up, my dudes? Today's episode, we have our old but gold. We are finally back. I am joined by Seth. And what are you now, Jordan? Are you an Aruba residence or what is it exactly? Jordan took a little vacay. Seth is still Seth. I'm here. Phil is taking a little, I guess you could say siesta. He's taking a little bit of break from the pod. We don't know what's going to happen with that exactly. I think
he
that's
gets
all
a participation trophy, though.
He's getting a participation trophy. He will take credit for all the success this pod has. We appreciate Phil. But Jordan, you had a good trip before we jump into some keep trade cut here. You're doing good?
Yeah, trip was good. It was a lot of fun. It's nice to take a week off. So I'm ready to go. I'm rejuvenated. We're like 10 days away from real football. No, I mean, if you consider NFL preseason real football, but like, I mean,
it's people hitting each other with pads.
I know.
So
hey, we're in the home stretch. Like, we are close.
Yeah.
We are 10 days from first Hall of Fame game. And then I think it's like 2 more weeks until or 3 more weeks. And then it's like college football week 0. And then it'll be like 2 weeks until it's like NFL week 1. Like, I'm ready to go.
It's go time, boys.
Yeah, I don't know if have I said on this pod, and then I'm going to be in have I mentioned I'm going to be in London for the Jaguars game in October?
You haven't mentioned it on the pod. You've just mentioned it to us.
I'm excited for that, planning that trip right now. So that's going to be here before I know it. It's like 3 months away. So yeah, I'm excited. It's go time. We're getting close.
My uncle was telling me the other day that August is the dog days of summer. And I was kind of thinking like maybe for baseball, but like for NFL, it's probably beginning of June, middle of June. Cause like once August starts, June. It's like, once August starts, we basically have like a fantasy football draft like once a week, if you're anything like me, So,
or you just kind of best ball like 4 of them a day, It's like
stuff like that. So I feel like August is almost like the most exciting time almost for NFL now, just because of all the fantasy drafts we are in. But before we jump into these old gyms or, like old guys that we're not really to give up on, that we like the value, had a keep trade cut here for you guys. I have a couple wide receivers. Forgive me if we've done this for a while, maybe a little bit rusty. I got Marvin Harrison Jr., Garrett Wilson, or Devontae Adams. Keep trade cut. Have we done that exact one yet or no? So Marvin, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams.
Marvin, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams. What is it? It's start trade cut. Is that what you said?
Keep trade cut. Yeah. So you're basically start. Yeah.
I'm going to go with start Marvin, trade Garrett Wilson, cut Devontae.
I think I'm going to go trade Devontae, cut Garrett Wilson, keep Marvin Harrison Jr.
I think I'm going with what Trent has.
Exactly.
I think Devontae Adams is a little more valuable on the Rams. I think.
Yeah, I said trade Devontae, cut Garrett, and keep Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah,
I really like all of those guys though. Like I'm pretty high on all of them, I would say. But
I think I'm kind of the opposite. I think I'm a little lower for sure. I'm going to be low on Devontae this year. I made up my mind today. Actually, I'm going to trying to go through teams. I started my deep dive into teams, getting ready for some best ball drafting, and I decided today. I got through 2 teams. I got through the Rams and the Cardinals. So I got through 2 teams.
Okay.
In the
Wow!
West, and I'm gonna.
Are you by division? How you do that, Jordan? Or how
I'm gonna go division? Yeah, I didn't. I did like 30 minutes today, and I got through 2 teams. So I'd probably like to do like a division a day. But I decided I'm gonna be low on Devontae. That was my official stance.
Okay. Just the only thing though is like, what if Puka gets hurt? That's the thing that could.
Well,
really
I mean,
boost.
But I mean, like, it's hard
going
to plan.
into drafts.
Like, you don't want to plan for that. I think I want to be high. I want to be over on Puka. Like I like Puka a lot, which I think is different for me compared to last year. I was very low on Puka, but he's just too good, and I don't see Devontae really cutting into his target share.
Okay. Well, I think Devontae, right? He's not the same receiver that he was, right? It's like when he was on the Packers, and then obviously when he was on a bad Raiders team, he kind of turned into more of a go up and get it guy and less of a possession receiver like what he used to be at the Packers. And obviously Puka's a total reception like king, you know, and also he can get up and catch the ball. But yeah.
Yeah, and no one has Devontae Adams on their list. I can jump right into these guys and start with myself. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Trophy Smack. Trophy Smack is for all those leagues that don't have, you know, that maybe have last place punishments, for sure have championships. And we're not like, the money's cool, but a trophy's cool as well. And Trophy Smack actually, you know, just full disclosure, sent me this, and I appreciate it. And I'm going to rock it on the pod. But they said, yeah, Seth's got a trophy back there. They got chains, guys, right here.
That's
Trophy
cool.
Smack sent this to me. TrophySmack.com/dudes. This chain says respect the commish. I like it.
Nice
they sent me this.
right
So yeah. So does your chain hang low, Seth? As they would say it, you know, in the street. I think they say stuff like that. So yeah, I got the gold chain on. I'm rocking it. Definitely gonna be wearing it to drafts. You can get a chain just like this. They have a bunch of them. They have them after players you like, whatever. Respect the commish, champion, last place with a toilet seat hanging down. A lot of cool stuff. Go to TrophySmack.com/dudes. So my first old but gold guy I'm going with James Conner. I've been high on him. You know, he's kind of like my guy I keep going to. And how old is James Conner, Jordan? I kind of said everybody had to be over 30 years old. I feel like
32 is my guess.
Is he 31? I can't. Oh, I have it. I thought I wrote it down somewhere.
He is 30.
30. So just barely made the cut there. So James Conner. So let's talk about James Conner. What do I got here in my notes? So talk about James Conner. This guy's basically the definition of steady. 3 years straight, basically the same numbers, 15.5 fantasy points per game. Right now he's going pick 54. That feels like incredible value. He just seems like he doesn't go down. Second best back in the league last year at breaking tackles. Second best at yards after contact. Last year alone, fourth in explosive runs with 34 carries over 10 yards, still rushed for over 1,000. The Cardinals kept everyone, same offense, same coaches, same system. So unless injury or Trey Benson really gets involved, which could happen, I think you're getting a really reliable running back there. Kind of boring, but I think it's what you want in fantasy. RB 18 and his ADP is 53.9. So I just think that's a good spot, especially if you know, going for running back 2, running back 3 right there. I really like James Conner's value. I don't know if anyone has anything on that. I feel like you're never very high on Conner, Jordan, but I feel like it's
I think he's fine. Like that's kind of what because I got to the Cardinals today, and that's kind of what I was put on my notes that I think he's just fine. Like I think he's a solid like RB2. You know, if you're going 0 RB and stuff, like he's fine, I guess. I don't love him as my RB1 though. Like if he's my RB1, I'm probably not feeling great about it. And it's just so, you know, so I guess like I've read some chatter on the internet about like how running back's really bad this year and it's really gross. And to be honest, I have not really done a whole lot of best ball drafting. I'm kind of behind in that regard. But I can imagine where running back gets a little hairy this year. It feels like there's a lot of committee and stuff. And to be honest, I think they use Trey Benson. I do think Trey Benson is more involved this year than he was hurt a lot last year. I think Benson was. So I don't know. I just feel like eventually the wheel is going to fall off for Conner, I feel like, but it hasn't happened yet. So I don't know.
I just love where he's going there. And he's the goal line guy there. Jordan, it's just weird hearing, you know, this was just a different summer for you, I guess you would say. There's that TV show, That Summer I Turned Pretty. I haven't watched it. My wife watches it, but this could be like a documentary or a show called The Summer I Went to Aruba. And if you guys could actually follow like Jordan's trip here, it's like plan my layover in Charlotte so I can get some, you know, season long plays and stuff like that. Not using sponsors or anything, but he strategically planned his whole trip to Aruba. So like, I don't know if there was any season long stuff you did in Aruba, Jordan, or if you just had a really good time, but I don't know. I think that would be an interesting vlog, Seth. Like the season I went to Aruba, like guys, just land in Charlotte. No, I make fun of Trent for standing up as soon as the plane lands, but I am standing up. I am running to the front, trying to get a Wi-Fi so I can put these season long bets in for
Trent.
There's Wi-Fi in the
You
plane,
understand? Well, Trent, you have your cell service. You can just.
That's true, but
he has got his
you don't want to be the
turn the
guy.
airplane off. Yeah, I mean,
you don't want to be the guy though, that they're like, hey, the people in the wheelchairs
honestly,
are off.
Jordan
Get
was
off.
placing bets 30,000 feet in the air.
No, do you know what's funny, Trent? That's funny.
Yeah.
Is the moment the plane landed, I turned airplane mode on. The first thing I did was open the sportsbook app and I started placing bets. It's so funny you said that because that literally happened before we got off the plane. I was already on the sportsbook app looking at stuff.
I knew that.
He knew what bets he was gonna make.
Yeah, he had them all written down.
Had it.
Lines had changed.
So no, 100% that actually happened.
Was there any plays that you're like, oh man, like that was different than what I saw this morning when I was checking in California?
No, everything was the same.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
But I'm trying to think what I placed. I know I placed Jaden Daniels over 5.5 rushing touchdowns because I know we had talked about that on the show, right? When we had talked about that at some point recently, and then I placed the Lions to win the Super Bowl and the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, and then the Lions and Chiefs to meet in the Super Bowl as an exact Super Bowls. I think it was like 25-1. So I don't know. I think I think the Lions are going to be good this year. So
no, Jordan. I knew exactly that's what you were doing. Like Jordan got to Aruba a day later than everyone else in his family, but he had an absolute blast on that layover in Charlotte. I bet like didn't eat anything, just standing up. Placing. Because he doesn't do it sitting. Seth, like he's just like putting all this stuff in.
He's actually happy feeding while he's doing it.
Yeah. The stewardess is like, sir, can you please get off the airplane? We need to clean up.
like the one guy, like as you're walking off the airplane from the back, there's the one guy who's just sitting in the seat still. And you're just like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah. Jordan pretended to have a seizure while he was boarding his next plane just so he could do 3 more plays in the aisle. Like, sir, you were group 3. Like, why are you?
He wasn't pretending though.
Yeah. The drool out of his mouth wasn't from the seizure. It was just from him being so happy he was at all these season-long plays.
He was so happy he just bet his $300.
300th play, $300. Okay, Jordan, I'm going to hand this off over to you. You were talking about the Lions. You're going over to the NFC North here. This was a running back. I looked at this guy for a little bit. Couldn't quite. I couldn't quite make like.
Okay,
I'll tell you why. It's the same as what you have. It's hard doing over 30.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like, there's not a whole lot of good players over 30 in the NFL. Like, if we're being honest, right? So, like, over 30. Like, I looked at David Montgomery and he was 28. And I'm just like, okay, like he feels old to me, but he's only 28, which is kind of old in NFL terms. But so I got Aaron Jones.
I couldn't believe DJ Moore was only 28. It seems like 20 years ago that Steve Smith was holding the phone to him like, hey, should I start this guy in fantasy football talking about it?
Yeah.
Remember that?
So it's just, Yeah.
So, okay.
But I have Aaron Jones on the underdog ADPs, RB28. I just kind of like, I don't know, like, again, like we're stretching thin here over 30. They signed Jordan Mason behind him. But like, I feel like Aaron Jones, I think I'm of the regard that like the Vikings are going to be bad. Right. So I think they're going to be playing from behind a little bit more. Jordan Mason feels more like of a runner. Aaron Jones has been good in the pass game. He's always been good in the pass game. Yeah. I could see JJ McCarthy relying on him as dump downs and kind of a check down guy. So I think at RB28, there's a little bit of value there. And I think, and you never know, he's a guy who could pop. Like if the Vikings trend are as good as you think they're going to be, Aaron Jones is going to be good. So yeah, I think he's a good, solid best ball target. I think at RB2. Again, I haven't done a whole lot of drafts, but like if you go like maybe take like a running back up top, like maybe get a Saquon bottom of the end of the first round, then you go receiver, and then Aaron Jones is like your RB2. I don't know. That feels okay to me. Like I don't know. Like feels okay to me. So I think there's a little bit of value there. Potentially, it's potentially a starting running back. And again, if they're bad, I think Aaron Jones provides some nice PPR floor. If they're good, like Trent thinks, I think then that means that they're going to score a lot of points and he'll be valuable. I just don't see Jordan Mason really eating into him a ton. If it was like a new coach or something, then I could see that maybe. But like same coach, same regime, in like the front office. So like they like Aaron Jones. They've seemed to like Aaron Jones over the last few years.
Yeah. Vikings offensive line should be one of the more improved units this year, too. Like Christian Darrisaw is back from his back injury. Team added Ryan Kelly and Will Freeze from the Colts, and they used their first round pick on Donovan Jackson. So this offensive line could turn a lot of heads. They should be very improved from what they were last year. Where
they're going to
make
need
Aaron
to.
Jones,
I mean, they're going to have to protect JJ McCarthy. You know, like I don't. They're going to have to give him time.
Yeah. So, yeah, he his last 5 games, he averaged 58.6 yards. That was with Darnold. On PFF, he had a 75.8 rushing grade and a 74.6 receiving grade.
I think his upside is more in the pass game, Trent. Like or maybe his floor. Like he had. Let me see here.
He was 7th in the NFL for receiving yards for running backs last year.
51 catches for 408 yards. That was like his most receiving yards since 2019. He had his 62 targets. Like, I mean, he had 255 attempts for over 1,000 yards. Like, he was a 1,500 yard like from scrimmage guy between his rushing and receiving.
Had 25 runs over 10 yards. So if he could get more touchdowns, he only had, where was his TDs last year? He only had 5 rushing TDs.
Five rushing, 2 receiving. So
if he could get a little bit more of those, that would help a lot. So,
but at RB28, Trent, I don't know if that matters.
No, that's good. And you could probably, the thing that's weird is him and Mason are kind of going like right by each other on sleeper. He's 75.
People don't know. So like I'm gonna guess people assume that some people think that Jordan Mason's gonna be the guy there.
Yeah.
How much money do they pay Jordan Mason? Because I think I don't feel like it was a lot, right?
They traded for him, right?
No, I thought he was a free agent. Or they did. Maybe they did. He signed a 2-year, $10 million contract.
Okay.
So it's not like it's not a ton.
Yeah. So they said O'Connell has no clear tendencies for how he likes his running back rotations. So it could be it's always been fluid. So if he's playing, it might just go to whoever's well and healthy at the time. But we'll see. Yeah. Okay, Seth, you got one here. You got an oldie but a goodie, I guess you could say. Like I think this is a guy a lot of people are
fit the category of an oldie because I guess he's 29, but I think
his Achilles might be 35.
Yeah, we're gonna call him an oldie because he's had some serious injury seasons, but they're usually preceded by an insane season. So this last year, right? McCaffrey had his whole tendonitis issue in his Achilles, had some calf problems, came back. The end of the season did some stuff, but the 49ers just weren't very good. I tend to think the 49ers are going to be better this year. And if McCaffrey is healthy and explosive, that's what at least the team is saying. I think he's going to be pretty good. It seems like this is a sleeper projection at RB5, but consensus across like all the other fantasy football sites, I think he's a generally top 5 running back. So they all seem to think, he's going to be pretty good. And I will say if he's 100% healthy, like RB5 seems a little low. Though I think the 49ers are going to be good again. The interesting thing for me is it's going to really stink, right, if you use your first round draft pick on CMC, but kind of depending on the league you're in, he might fall to like a round 2. And I think if you can get him in your second round, like I think that's a big deal. And I think, a player like CMC with his injury history can fall there. So I think this isn't like an oldie, but like, it's kind of like a C's candy, it's like it could be really good or it could be really bad. So I don't think there's an in between. It's either really good or really bad. And I tend to think it's going to be the one without nuts and be really good.
Kind of. Yeah, never mind. So I'm reading here. Since McCaffrey is drafted, there have been 10 cases of running backs averaging at least 24 fantasy points per game in a season. and he has 4 of those seasons. So, but he's also only averaged 9.4 games per season over the last 5 years due to various injuries. So he is
that's
kind
a
of
little
like
bit skewed, right? Because he missed a ton of games last year. If you take away last year,
true.
what is
it'd be interesting to see what it was last year. I don't.
Well, I mean, if you take, well, I mean, we can just look this up. I mean, I agree with Seth to a point. Like, I
It's like
still
peanut
think
brittle, Seth.
Trent. Okay, Trent.
I don't know.
If
his 23 season was amazing, and he did not get hurt.
yeah,
till the championship.
So in 22, he played all 16 games. In 23, he played all 16 games. But then in 2020 and 2021, he only played 10 games combined. So he went 16, 16, 16 his first 3 years. Then he only played 10 the next 2 combined. Then he went, 17 in 21. And then he went 16 and 23. 17 and 22, 16 and 23, and then only 4 last year. So, I mean, he's had like, it seems like his years where he doesn't play, he's not playing very much at all, So,
Yeah.
But then the years where he does play, he stays pretty healthy most of the year. Trent, I'm curious because I think I'm in between you and Seth here on CMC. I know you're really low on CMC. Seth's pretty high. I think I'm in the middle where, like, if he falls me in the right spot, I think I'll consider him. Because I do think his upside still is tremendous. Now, Trent, if I guarantee you that CMC plays all 17 games next year, or let's say he plays 15, I'll just say he plays 15 at the minimum. How do you feel about him?
Oh, if you could tell me he's to play 15, I would feel good, especially since Debo's gone. Juwan Jennings acting like he needs to get paid. So it's like, who's he competing with?
Hurt. Pearsall's going to be on the pup. So
yeah, so it's like those targets got to go somewhere. I'm very bullish on Kittle right now. Like, I think Kittle is a guy you could almost like 3rd round. You have to take him if he's there. I don't know if he'll make it to the 3rd round. Getting CMC. If he played 15, I would think with how many guys they're missing, I would have to take him.
So if I tell you that he plays 15 games, 15 to 17 games next year, you feel differently, right? So you're 100%. It's all about. So it's not that you don't believe in him as a player anymore. It's you don't believe in him his ability to stay healthy.
Yeah. And what are you like? What guys are you taking over CMC? Like, would you take Bijan or CMC, Jordan?
Bijan.
Yeah, okay, like Bijan.
So you're taking CMC over Genty, Bucky Irving, and Henry.
I mean, it's also not that simple, right? Because it's based on where you're drafting them. Like, so you're saying straight up, like straight up, you're saying, or based on value.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm taking CMC probably over.
I'm probably
Genty for sure. I'm taking him over probably
Henry?
all of them, to be honest. Probably all of them.
Okay. Yeah. Henry was a guy I thought could have been on this.
Henry, you thought could have been on this list?
I thought he's 31, but I just think he's
ADP?
Still going 13.1. So he's still kind of going where he went last year. Like, I think that's good.
Not RB 13. You're talking 13 overall.
Yeah. ADP's 13.1. He's RB 8.
And what's CMC's?
CMC's got to be
like 8, 9 overall.
He's RB 4 on PFF, and he is 9.1 ADP. So they're pretty close. You could have a CMC Derrick Henry stack. It's possible.
It all
depends on who's drafting.
I'll be honest, Trent. Right? That
feels awful.
Like it feels awful.
You hate Derrick Henry though.
No, because like, don't you just feel like one of those guys is gonna get hurt? Like, I don't know. Like,
that's where I've been with CMC. I just
like having 2 running backs in your third, like basically in their 30s, like on your team as your first 2 picks, and like just doesn't feel great to me. But I don't know. Like, it worked last year.
Not if you had CMC.
No, I know. the running backs in general. Like, I don't know. It's tough. I think CMC's, man, I don't know. I think the Niners are going to be bad. And so I think that actually helps CMC.
Just, yeah, you
So,
get those cheap receptions and
yeah,
helps out quite a bit. All right.
you're right. I mean, he could get hurt again because like he's shown where he's had back-to-back years of being hurt in his career, or he might just have a huge year again. I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see what happens to CMC. I think Derrick Henry's floor is pretty high. I think Derrick Henry's floor is definitely a little bit higher than CMC's.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go back to myself here. I'm going to talk about Mike Evans. And with Mike Evans, he's just kind of the old reliable guy we got here. I still think everyone's kind of sleeping on him. Currently ranked as the 16th wide receiver, going at pick 48. He's automatic, basically a lock for 1,000 yards, 10 straight season, fourth in the league with 11 touchdowns last year. And he was cooking down the stretch, averaging 101 yards his last 5 games. His touchdown, yeah. So I don't know. He's about 8 TDs per 10 games, and I like the Tampa offense. I think people are a little scared, with the wide receivers they brought in, Godwin, but we got the same Baker Mayfield, and Mike Evans just happens to always find the end zone no matter who's throwing him the ball. So pick 48, it seems like highway robbery to me. So it seems like a guaranteed 1,000-yard double-digit touchdown guy for me with Mike Evans, and guys are lower on him right now, but where you're getting Mike Evans is maybe your wide receiver 3. If you go 3 wide receivers in a row, seems like a nice play to me. Wide receiver 16. So I don't know if is everybody out. Like we all just thinking, it's who's it? Ekba? Why can't I think of the rookie from Ohio State?
Emeka
Egbuka. Yeah. So in Godwin, but I just still think him and Evans, they get the touchdowns there. So, maybe a little bit better NFC South. Lattimore's not playing in New Orleans anymore. So that's 2 games, that you can play him that you normally couldn't. And Panthers defense. So yeah, I like Mike Evans there at wide receiver 16. I don't know if anyone's against that, or is that just we're all kind of in the same boat there.
I like him.
Are you ready for that? You think the wheels fall off finally, Jordan?
No, I like Mike Evans.
It seems low, or yeah.
It seems low. Like it seems just on the surface, just low. I mean, I guess
and then
a lot of people there now. I mean, they have Jalen McMillan still. Like the tight end, Cade Otton was good last year. They do throw the running backs quite a bit, so maybe people just think that there's just too many mouths to feed. Maybe that's what it is.
And the more casuals who start drafting, I'm assuming Evans probably jumps up.
Yeah, just based on name value alone.
Yeah,
you gotta remember, people that are drafting right now are, lack of a better word, they're degenerates. So
yeah.
So
is junkies better than degenerate though, Seth? What would you rather be, a junkie or degenerate?
I'd rather be degenerate, not a junkie.
Yeah.
Fantasy junkies.
No, I mean, essentially, like the people who are drafting now are probably sharper, right? It's a smarter, sharper group of people who are drafting now. There's not as many casuals who draft now. But
yeah. Do we? So Seth, I think you and Jordan should just tag team this one. You guys both had it. Apparently, someone went in the show notes and erased something. So why don't you guys just tag team it? Just take it together. Just go for it here.
I'll talk and Seth can follow up on it. Cooper Kupp, I mean, he's 32. But here's my issue. He's wide receiver 51. So I just think that's too low. Like now he has in 2021 where he had that amazing year. He's been hurt. 9 games played, 12 games played, 12 games played. But he goes to a Seattle team now, new location, a little rejuvenated maybe. I mean, they don't have a lot. They got JSN, MVS, Cooper Kupp. Now they drafted 2 Mountain West guys and Torrey Horton and Ricky White. So I mean, tight ends, they got AJ Barner because they drafted Elijah Arroyo in the 2nd round because Noah Fant just retired, right? So or they cut Noah Fant. Sorry, they didn't retire. They cut him. So there's just not a lot there. Like wide receiver 51, maybe he finds something again. Cooper Kupp does. Like, I don't know. I don't know. For me, it's just like, it feels too low. I think there's not a lot of risk where you're getting them. And I think it's worth a shot in the dark here. I don't know, Seth, is that kind of how you feel?
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing for me is you've seen what he can do, right? The 2021, obviously, I mean, that's 4 years ago, but wide receiver 51 just seems ridiculous. I think realistically, he should be in the 30s. I think it's crazy to say he's going to finish outside the top 50. I would argue he's going to be at least a top 32 receiver. I think the Seahawks are going to throw the ball more than we think.
I mean, he had some ceiling games last year. Like, week one of last year, 14 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Like he had an 11 catch, 104-yard game, a 6 catch, 106 and 2 touchdown game, an 8 catch, 60 and a touchdown game, 5 for 92 and a touchdown. Like, yeah, he didn't do much down the stretch, but like he had some good games. Like, I don't know.
It's brutal looking. He averaged 28 yards his last 5 games of the season. And the glaring one is the playoff one versus the San Francisco 49ers. Was that Thursday Night Football in the Rain Bowl where he just absolutely goose-egged you? Like, it was terrible, but still had 97 targets last year, 67 receptions, 6 receiving TDs.
I mean, Trent, like 700 yards, 6 touchdowns, 67.
Yeah,
catches.
where you're getting, no, the ADP's
like
ADP's right now.
Yeah, like it's too low. I think like there's an over. Yeah. What do you think it is? I think the Seahawks are gonna, but even the Seahawks suck. That's good for Cooper Kupp.
That helps him. Yeah. But remember, Jordan, you said it. Him and JSN both play slot. Are they going to do double slots, like just 4 wide every play?
I think JSN's going to play on the outside, and Cooper Kupp will play in the slot. So,
yeah. Okay. I'm going to give you both of those, Seth, rather than you just,
that's fine.
Yeah, shooting from the hip there. I think it's okay. I'll allow it. Basically, someone erased Seth's play there on Cooper Kupp. They both say they did it at the same time. I don't know. Just a little bit of pod drama, like Seth's like, who erased my notes? Like, we have this open living document. They both claim to have done it at 4:15.
There's got to be some history on this document. We could
can you record these like Google Sheets? That'd be kind of interesting.
I think there's like you can pull up the data from it and stuff.
You probably could. Yeah. Should I do that? Like, that would be
just go into the code here.
Go into the code. I don't know how to. There's got to be some.
What happens if I click see version history?
Do it. See what happens. Let's crack this code right here. This is like Mythbusters, except
So at 3:24, it says Seth was in here.
Okay,
it's true. That's when I wrote Cooper Kupp. 51 question mark.
I am not seeing any Cooper Kupp on here. I see Tyreek Hill. I see CMC. There is nothing about Cooper Kupp. Let's see at Trent's version. Nope. When Trent was on, there is no Cooper Kupp. So I don't know, Seth.
Maybe I didn't click enter on my computer. Maybe
you're a different kind of. Maybe you're a different kind of junkie,
I'm not tripping.
Seth.
I know I typed it out.
Well, there is a way to look at this. So, Seth, if you want to go back and try to figure this out, go for it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Seth can't handle the truth. All right. My next one here before I get to that, guys, head over to Sleeper, favorite place to play fantasy football. Enter promo code DUDES100, match up to $100. Lots of dynamic payouts right now. Baseball, I went and watched Shohei Ohtani the other night, hit a home run. Should have done a play on Shohei Ohtani. If you go watch Shohei in person, you should put a play on it. Wasn't able to do it and drive at the same time. Probably should have done it while I was waiting in line at the snack bar. I will talk about that more in the huddle, about my whole snack bar situation. You won't want to miss that. So
Trent,
stick around.
You're allowed to have your wife do it while you're driving?
She would probably mess it up. She wouldn't know what I would. She would not it would probably be better if I just did it myself than I had her do all these things. She doesn't know what it is, like what an RBI is or whatever. She doesn't even know what Sleeper app is, bless her heart. But
even though she has an account in her name on Sleeper.
That's a good idea, and I should do that. That is a good idea.
Should.
That is a little bit, yeah. I might be doing that later tonight. Okay, so going over here, I have the guy I have every single year on this episode, guys. I have Mark Andrews. I think we have Mark Andrews revenge tour. You know, everyone's talking about the drop pass. Everyone's writing him off. Ranked 11th at the position right now in drafts, going one spot behind Travis Kelce. Pick 82. That's tight end punt territory. The guy led all tight ends in touchdowns last year with 11. Best touchdown rate per game. And he gets, what is it? Nine of those scores were from outside the 5-yard line. So that's the most by a tight end since 2018. But I feel like people are avoiding him just because of that drop pass in the rain. And I actually think when more people start drafting, this number could go farther back. So people are hanging on to that Buffalo drop. He already said his gloves were like extremely wet, and he almost should have took them off. And he was battling a car accident the whole entire year. I think he was hurt. I think he was banged up. You know, I haven't been in a bad car accident for a while. So, you know, sometimes you got to like walk those off a little bit. It takes a little bit, you know, but he didn't really miss that much time. So I think you're potentially in a top 5 tight end for basically free. I think he's going to go later. I know I'm a huge Mark Andrews junkie, let's say. And so I think this is a really good spot right here. 82, one spot behind Travis Kelce. I think it's worth the risk right here, guys. A lot of TDs last year, so I think those can keep coming. And so, Jordan, you guys just indifferent tight end. I'm always the guy who has a tight end on here. Like if I don't get Kittle, I'm going Andrews.
You're the tight end guy, Trent.
Yeah. Jordan, you're on mute too, by the way.
Yeah, I'm looking at some stuff here.
There's Likely,
honest, Trent,
there's Hopkins.
Like I think I'm unlikely. I'm just where they're being drafted. You know, Likely has an ADP of tight end 15.
Similar, yeah.
Looks like Mark Andrews had like 69 targets last year, and Likely had 58. So like they're not a huge difference there.
Yeah.
Just
the only thing, Jordan,
I'm taking the younger guy with Likely.
Yeah. The only thing is all those guys that drafted Andrews dumped all their fab on Likely and were probably upset at it last year. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm wondering if those numbers even go different. It'll be interesting to see, but like I also just think that like, and maybe it's just too much feast or famine at the touchdown position with Andrews kind of being Lamar's red zone threat. But
I mean, you're also competing for a lot when it comes to touchdowns, you know, and I think someone who may impact Andrews in the red zone, Trent, a little bit is DeAndre Hopkins a little bit. I don't know what he's good for. You know, he's old. We're talking about old guys. He's old, you know, but I do think that's where he has some upside, you know, DeAndre Hopkins as kind of a red zone threat, a goal line threat. And I wonder if that maybe impacts, maybe I'm reaching here. I very, very well could be reaching a bit, but I don't know. I forgot they added him. And so
I just wasn't worried about Hopkins.
Likely is I think I'm on Likely over relative to where they're being drafted, right? Based on value. Yeah. I think I'm unlikely over Andrews on where they're based on where they're being drafted right now.
And Andrews was going in the 3rd round last year. So this is a pretty big drop for Andrews to come this far back.
I guess what I'm saying is like in best ball, like in redraft, I'm probably like season long redraft. I'm probably not touching either of them, you know, for me personally. Mm-hmm. But in best ball, like if I end up with like somehow Lamar, I draft Lamar early and I ended up on a Ravens stack, a Lamar stack. Like, I'm probably trying to get like Zay and Likely, you know, that's probably who I'm shooting for, you know, in that stack.
All right, Jordan, you're going back to your favorite one here. You know, we argued about this guy for a while here. You got a quarterback here.
Yeah, I got Jared Goff, QB 15. It seems weird because I feel like I'm low on Goff in some areas and higher in some. I just think at QB 15, I mean, I think he's really solid. And again, like, I don't know if it's somewhere you need to touch in like redraft, right? Or season long. But I think in a best ball format, like, the nice thing about Goff is you can like get his weapons early, and then you should be pretty safe to kind of get him later on, So he's QB 15 on underdog right now. So you can get like a Jameson. Maybe you want to sack Jameson and ASB, or Jameson and Laporta, or ASB and Laporta, or who am I forgetting? I think there's another guy. Who's the other?
You say Jameson. You said Jameson. You said Amon-Ra?
Yeah, Jameson, Amon-Ra. Maybe Tim Patrick.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you want to go like a really cheap like line stack with like Jameson, Tim Patrick, or I don't know. There's a lot of different ways that you could do it. I also think like you could do Gibbs. I think Gibbs is viable in a stack. I don't think running backs are always viable with the quarterback in the stack, but I think like a Gibbs, Jameson, Goff stack with how much receiving upside Gibbs has is fine. So I think this Lions team is going to be good. They're just impressing me a lot right now. So, or they impressed me last year. I'm slightly worried about Ben Johnson, but I also think that this offense is a pretty well-oiled machine at this point. If there was a new quarterback, I'd be a little worried, or new weapons, I'd be a little worried. But they're just running it back without their OC. So I think they're going to be okay. So I like Goff. Again, not necessarily like season long. I think there's better options in season long that you can get late, even in a 12 team. But I think in a best ball, I think line stacks are interesting. I think they're relatively cheaper. I think you are getting a discount on the line stacks, I think. Outside of Jameson, Trent, you've drafted a lot more than I have. Where's Jameson going? He's going a little high.
He's been going higher. I haven't. Let me see. I got wide receivers right here. So I got it pulled up in best ball. Jameson's going wide receiver 25.
So
One
definitely
spot
a lot
behind
higher than he was
Xavier
last
Worthy.
year, right?
Yeah.
So but I feel like you're getting a discount on Amon-Ra St. Brown this year compared to last year, and you're getting a discount on Laporta for sure compared to last year. So maybe the move is like Tim Patrick instead of Jameson this year. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I feel you can get the Lion stacks a little bit cheaper than you could last year, and I'm guessing that's a Ben Johnson discount. Is that what you think, Trent? Seth?
I think it's a Ben Johnson discount, and I think it's just that combo of Amon-Ra, Gibbs, and I know we talked about the rushing touchdowns last time, but I mostly think it's Ben Johnson's what's worrying people. But today, like Lions training camp, JMO was going off, so it might start shooting up right now. Yeah,
and again, we talked about this. Dan Campbell does not take his foot off the gas pedal. They'll put up 50 on you. Like, they have no problem putting up 50 points in a game. Like, they're just a fun offense to target because they're going to score points, and they're always going to push the pedal, like push it.
They're going to go hard.
They're never going to play it safe. They're not taking their foot off the gas, and they're not going to just run the ball. Like, they're going to keep pushing. The points are going to come. The yards are going to come. Fantasy production is going to come. I want to be way over on Lions. Again, I haven't drafted a ton yet. I'm going to probably start that here in the next couple of weeks or next week or so. So I definitely want to be over on Lions, I think, this year.
All right, Seth, this is our last one, right? Seth, you got one more right here. You're going to the little piece out here on the old but gold.
Yep. I'm going to go Tyreek Hill, old but gold. I think he runs it back this year, and we're just praying that Tua stays alive on the field to get him the ball. I think Tyreek Hill is going to have more touchdowns than he has kids born this year, because that was a theme last year, right? He had more kids born than he had touchdowns scored. So Tyreek Hill's making a comeback this season. I don't think there's a risk of injury here. I think he has something to prove, and I don't really know where that's coming from. I just feel like every time that I passed up on him, he did good, and every time that I have drafted him, he's done nothing. So I'm hoping this is the year where it all gets turned around, where if I have the chance to draft him, I draft him and he does something good. So that's why I put him up here, is mainly just some retribution for myself.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy that, wide receiver 21 right now, 32.6. If that's your wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, that seems pretty nice.
It seems low for a guy who has wide receiver 1 potential, and like he could do that this year.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. I agree with Seth on the bounce back for Tyreek Hill. I'm on the Tyreek Hill about bounce back.
Like if he's your wide receiver 2, you are extremely happy.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we did our old but gold right there. I don't disagree. The price tag's worth it, Seth. I think it's good right there. We did our old but gold. We had James Conner, Mike Evans, Mark Andrews, Aaron Jones, Cooper Kupp, Jared Goff, CMC, Tyreek Hill. If this provided value to you guys, remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. Really helps us out, guys. Give us a like. Give us a sub on YouTube if you're still watching that. Also can watch this on Spotify as well. So head over to YouTube, TFF Dudes, and check it out. Got a little bit of huddle topics here, guys. And then we can end this up with a Mount Rushmore. I think I have a decent one. I just got to vent a little bit about the Dodger game. And Jordan, maybe you've experienced this in some sporting events. Seth, I know you've kind of experienced this. And Jordan, you were flying, so it's kind of like this as well. Dodger Stadium is cash free. I actually did pay for our tickets that our photo we took before the game with cash. I was shocked that they took that, but they gave me a cash option, so I did it. It's all credit cards. So I went to go get my Cheeto Lote corn. It's the best thing they have there. It's the corn with the mayo rolled in the hot Cheeto powder. Very good. There was about 12 people in front of me in line, okay? How long do you think that should take? All the food is pre-made, and all the food, and there's no counting change. That should be about
10 minutes.
10 minutes, 5 minutes. Don't you agree, Jordan?
About a minute per person. Yeah.
Yeah. It took 30 minutes. Okay. I went before the game started, got there right before, they honored Fernando Valenzuela, because it's Fernando Valenzuela night. Took 30 minutes. Here's the problem with this. Everybody has to pick what they want. That takes, 30 seconds, whatever. Then everybody has to get their food. Then when you pay with your card, you have to leave a tip. Okay. It's either 15%, 20%, or 25% or
you can't
free.
Put no tip. You can't.
There's
put
no tip. So if you do no tip, you have to hit 0 4 times, not 3. Oh no, 3 times, not 1, because that'll be 0 cents. You had to go 0 0 0. Enter. That was the way you did it. So everybody's tapping this keypad 3 times, hit 0, or you could have just hit 15%. You could have went on your way. But they make everyone leave a tip. The efficiency is absolutely terrible when you make everyone leave a tip. 6th inning, we wanted to get a churro. Okay. There's a guy walking up and down the aisles, wave him down. Hey, I want a churro. He gives me a churro, says, sir, would you like to leave a tip? I have to get up, go over there, hit 0 0 0 on the guy who's walking up and down the aisle, which, hey, the guy walking up and down the aisle giving churros, maybe you can debate that needs a tip, but someone that's giving you pre-made food already there, literally turning around, handing it to you, put a no tip option. Like, the tip things is just getting absolutely out of control. Like
our tipping culture is getting ridiculous.
It's getting absolutely ridiculous.
Out of hand. Yeah.
No, it's getting worse because it's like people are asking for tips when like you're literally just buying food.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know I'm like the jerk that's like sounding anti-tip, but there's got to be a faster way to do this than like there needs to be a skip option, because you've already shortened the game's baseball that like there's a pitch clock. Not complaining about the pitch clock, but if you get up in the 2nd inning, you might not get back till, the bottom of the 3rd getting food. If 30 minutes is a long time. So I don't know, just absolute disaster.
Is that a Dodger Stadium issue though?
Yes. I want to assume that all stadiums are cash free almost, Jordan. I don't know.
But the way they do their
stadium is very efficient. Though.
Oh yeah,
I don't think they're
Trent, there's a lot of platforms where you can just hit the no tip option.
Yeah, exactly. But they're probably like we're helping the guys get tips. They would say it's helping.
Or the whatever platform they're using doesn't have the no tip option. Yeah,
it's set up that way on purpose
instead of using
It's set up that way on purpose because clicking 15% one time is faster than clicking 0 3 times.
Yes.
And how many times is 15% the default option now? I don't like that every time I order something online or I'm in thing, I have to click off the 15%. Why is that a normal thing? I don't know.
I don't know either. It's getting a little bit much.
It really bothers me.
And you know what? I'm going to blame Starbucks for this. You know, like before coffee culture, when I grew up, when there wasn't like drive-through coffee, people weren't asking for tips for every single thing. Everyone had a tip jar out there. You could throw some cash in there, throw some change in there. No big deal. But now you have these baristas that, you know, want a tip, you know, and I'm not even sure they're the ones that are making the drink half the time because it might be someone else. But if you want to tip somebody, that's fine. It just needs to be a little bit more efficient to where people aren't missing baseball games because they're waiting in line. But it was like, I was mad about it, but I was like, I need to vent to somebody about this. But my wife's probably the most mad about it more than anyone. You know, she had 3 kids under the age of 4 that she had entertained for 30 minutes while I'm in line, you know, and that, Jordan, is when I should have put in my Shohei plays. There was an opportunity.
Yes.
That was the silver lining, and I didn't take advantage of it. I was just complaining to 2 people in line with me, like, why is this taking so long? You know, just so. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know, Jordan. You have anything that just irked you about Aruba? Like, airplane's is probably, you know, cash free. You know, did you leave a tip for the stewardess when you bought your sandwich on the go? Like, I don't know.
Did not buy a sandwich. No, the tip thing it's funny you brought that up because that was kind of a thing. They actually don't. It's really nice. Like,
well, other countries aren't into it.
At all their restaurants, they don't add. You know, a lot of restaurants here now are automatically adding tip. You know,
and that's wrong too.
Gratuity, and they don't do it over there. The only time it was our first night there, and I went to a pizza place. It was late, you know, because we got in. By the time we got to our Airbnb, it was like 4:00. We went to the beach. We didn't eat dinner until almost like 8:39 that first night. So we go to a place and they get the check back, and there's like a $10 or 10% like service charge on there. And we're trying to first night in a new country, right? We're trying to figure out like what it is. And we asked the waitress, is this a tip? And she's all, no, it's not the tip. And I think my dad was like, so what is it? And she said, it's for the plates and cups. And I was like, we were like, what? And my dad said something like, well, you got part of how a restaurant functions. Like, you have plates and cups. And she said, that doesn't go to me. And then she stood there watching him while he put in the tip. It was very awkward. We came to the conclusion that I think she lied and to try to get him more of a tip. I think that's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
the old tourist hustle right there.
Because
note to self: don't wear your fanny pack into, you know, restaurants, and people won't assume you're a stewardess, Jordan.
No, but like no other restaurant added a tip. Just that first night there was a service charge, and I think we got that first night, but no, it's interesting. Like, tipping definitely. They're more, I feel like people were trying to work hard for their tip, you know, because it wasn't included.
Yeah.
You know, and it was always like, feel free to leave a tip if you want, you know. It is awkward when they ask that, you know, but it's, you know, do you want to leave a tip? You know, it's kind of awkward when they ask that, but
it's awkward when I have to press it on the screen at the car wash.
I know,
like,
in front of
people, tip, and the guy's right there, and it's like, no, you just held the iPad for me. There's holders here that'll do this. Jordan just screams tourist though, Seth. Like, can't you just picture a guy, Hawaiian shirt, jeans with flip flops?
No, I'm like the opposite.
Fanny pack.
Yeah. He definitely wore a Hawaiian shirt.
Camel pack. Jordan has a camel pack for the hikes, you know, so he can like stay hydrated.
A sun hat.
And then here's another thing. Okay, I just want to talk about a little bit of office etiquette. You know, there was someone a couple weeks ago, and Jordan has worked in my office in the past. Seth works in the office with me now. And there was a sign, like, what is your take, Jordan, on people who labeled their food and put it in the fridge that you don't eat it? Would you eat something with someone else's name on it?
I would not eat that.
Okay. That's what I told Seth, but he did not care. Seth just said, YOLO, I'm going to have this ice cream. I don't care whose it is. Yes, it is absolutely true.
It didn't have anyone's name on it. It had no one's name. It
had no one's name on it, Jordan. It just said saved for event later. and he just went to. He's like,
I guess a little more. I would feel awkward in eating any food that I didn't bring in office. I'll just put it that way. Or that wasn't out for like a party, you know. Or
the
like
event was over, and the next event wasn't for 2 weeks, and they were gonna buy a new one anyways.
Yeah, ice cream goes bad after 2 weeks.
Ice cream's probably a little more acceptable, to be honest.
It was ice cream.
Someone
someone else was gonna eat it.
It was
me,
sorbet
and it might
for
as
people
well
with
been me.
food allergies. Yeah. So, anyways, I just
been
feel
me.
like if you put a name tag on something, maybe show a little respect. That's all. Like, but
next time I'm gonna take it off and then just act like it was never there.
Well, then I will tell everyone that you did that. So the problem is, people assume it with me. They're like, "Hey, Trent, do you eat the ice cream?" So I'm like, "No, it was Seth. I watched him, took a picture. Here he is." Seth just with his hand in the cookie jar, you know, like just looking at me awkward. It's like, hey, at least get a scooper, man. Don't eat it with the spoon and put it back in there. Like that's got to be against the rules. So anyway, I have an interesting Mount Rushmore right here. I have an interesting Mount Rushmore. Seth probably knows most of them. So I'm in a family group text with my cousins. And sometimes just for fun, I will basically be having a conversation with myself in these group texts. And so I was thinking movies that made you cry. I thought that'd be a good Mount Rushmore. Can we agree with that? Or like kind of just tugged at the heartstrings a little bit? Can we say that's a good one? Does everyone kind of agree with that? There's got to be something like, Seth, what do you have? Like $1 Million Baby or something? Like I have
kind of throw me on the spot here. Movies that made me cry.
Yeah. Oliver and Company. I don't know.
Two came to me right away, but the other two are going to be tough, I think.
Oh, okay.
So one's probably Moneyball, not Moneyball. What's the one with when G Baby dies? That one hurt.
G-Baby
right?
dies. G-Baby.
Movies that make you cry.
I like it when you call me Big Pop. Put your hands in the air. What baseball movie is that, Seth?
All right, I don't know.
Seth, what baseball movie is that?
I don't know.
It's Keanu Reeves is in it. People are screaming.
Keanu Reeves? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu.
What baseball movie is that? Hardball. How have you not seen that, Seth?
I don't know. It's not ringing a bell.
You have not seen Hardball? Jordan, have you seen Hardball?
Let me look it up.
Okay, I got
a football one with him.
Oh, man. I haven't seen this one. You got to watch that Baby, man. New York or Chicago. Jordan, you need to watch Hardball. The guy is a junkie gambler, like loses his job, like can't pay rent. He's gambling all the time, has to coach this like Bad News Bears baseball team. You would like that movie. I cannot believe you have not seen that.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, it's a classic. Seth, how have you not seen that? Oh my god, you've never heard people say I like it when they always sing that song. I like it when you call me Big Pop.
Well, that's a song, Trent. Isn't that normal?
I sing it in the movie all the time though. G Baby does. Sorry if I ruined the movie for people haven't seen it. I thought that was a pretty commonly known movie there. So movies that made you cry. Seth,
well, you have 4, Trent. Why don't you go if you have 4?
I do. I'm just looking for my group text where I said it all. Like I thought, like early young age, Charlotte's Web maybe should be on there, but I'm gonna go. I think Gran Torino's on that list. That one was sad when he dies at the end after all he did. Braveheart is on the list. Lion King.
You cried watching Braveheart?
Have you not seen the ending, Seth?
I have
the
seen
betrayal,
but I didn't cry.
Probably watched it when you were too old. Then I watched it younger. What else do I have here? I feel like you could throw Rambo on that one. Walk to Remember's got to be on that list for Jordan, I would assume. Fox and the Hound, Lion King, Braveheart, and there was one. I had another dog movie that was what was the other one I said there, Seth? Braveheart, Fox and the Hound,
Lion King.
Fox and the Hound is really sad. I'm not throwing Walk to Remember in there. That one. And Friday Night Lights could probably go up there. That's pretty sad, the ending, but not crying worthy. Got 3 right there. Let me think of one more. Does anyone else have like 2?
I have 3, I think.
Okay.
Old Yeller, you know,
That's up
that
there,
one.
yeah.
Definitely
I
when
feel
I
like
was a little
Fox and the
kid.
Hound edges that one out, though, Jordan. You don't agree with that?
The other one is Where the Red Fern Grows.
Oh,
That
yeah,
movie
that's
was really sad too. And then
P.S. I
those were
love
both
you,
when I was
Jordan.
kids. No, Notebook. I was gonna go Notebook.
Notebook. Okay. Seth,
You
what do
haven't
you
seen
got?
Notebook, Trent?
I haven't seen Notebook. No,
Are you serious?
I haven't. I just,
That's a
yeah.
classic. All right, I'm gonna say
Yeah.
that one too. The other one, what's the other one?
I'm going to say Warrior. Those two brothers hate each other, have to fight each other. He's basically breaking his brother's arm. You remember that one? You see that one, Jordan? UFC movie?
Yeah, I've seen that one, but
I'm going to throw that one
I don't
in
know.
there.
Like, I don't really cry. It's tough. Fourth one's hard. Seth, what do you have so far?
I have the Notebook. I don't really cry watching movies.
I know.
Gran Torino's on my list.
Yeah, you Gran
Yeah,
Torino.
you said that.
Yeah, I don't.
Why
really
Gran
cry
Torino,
watching
Trent?
movies?
He dies at the end, man, and he doesn't even have a gun on him. Like that old man, Clint Eastwood should have went out swinging, man. He should have pulled the gun out. Yeah, they're gonna get you, but take a couple of those guys down with you, man. Like gave the kid his car, didn't give it to his sons, their kids. Like, I don't know. I thought Clint Eastwood could have maybe took those guys down, those gang members, but it just didn't happen. Like, and unarmed, the guy was reaching to light his cigarette. So yeah, good movie.
I'm struggling for a fourth here, Trent. I'm struggling big time.
I think it's harder than I thought.
Yeah, I don't really like. I mean, I'm sure I have, but I don't feel like I've cried in a movie in a long, long time. Like actually cried. You know,
Seth, you've got to have Seth's got to have like Rogue One or something on here. Or like I can see Seth crying watching on the new Star Wars.
That's the problem.
Yeah, just what's something that tugs at your heart, Seth? Like have a little bit of compassion.
I don't know. Probably I think another one, probably the Fox and the Hound when I was a kid, maybe.
Absolutely, Fox and the Hound. You could put Fox and the Hound over. You put Fox and the Hound over Old Yeller. Old Yeller's a popular one though.
I mean, I'm trying to think of. I gotta think of it like when I was a kid, like Charlotte's Web, maybe like.
That's kind of where I was going. Was more kid.
I gotta think of it when I was a kid because like all the older ones, like me.
You don't have Lion King on yours, Seth?
No, I didn't cry watching Lion King.
When his dad just gets thrown down there?
No, I didn't because it wasn't the end of the movie. Like the end of the movie is the worst
was kind
part.
of sad. Andy kicks all those toys to the curb. I like Jordan's Where the Red Fern Grows. Double dog heartbreak right there. That's pretty bad. No one has what else is there?
I think this one, I found a movie I think that I probably cried in when I was a kid. Do you guys remember watching Mighty Joe Young? Did you guys ever watch? Said this is before your time, I think.
I
you watch Mighty Joe Young?
I vaguely remember it. I don't know why.
Mighty Joe Young, fun fact, was like the first movie I ever watched that I can remember watching in the movie theaters. It came out in 1998, so I'd have been like, I was like 4. Pretty sure they shoot him at the end. Or maybe not they have
Harambe foreshadowing.
No. So yeah, so they have to someone tries, I don't know. I just remember being really sad in that movie. There's a point in time where I got really sad in that movie, but that's the first movie I remember watching in theaters, Mighty Joe Young.
Indian in the Cupboard kind of got me too, when they go back.
That's not a bad one.
That was it, it was Marley and Me, Seth. You're kind of a dog guy. Little Women, maybe. I don't know.
What's the movie with Will Smith and
Pursuit of Happiness?
You're not saying.
Yeah, that one.
That one's a good one too.
Yeah,
that one's a
that one. Yeah, that one. There's my.
It's hard. Like I just movies.
Oh, that's hard. Yeah, I have never walked out of a movie theater with just tears rolling down my face.
There's probably more
when he left
TV
Sonic
show
3.
moments that get me more than movies, Trent, to be honest.
Sonic 3 when Eggman says goodbye and saves the world.
That's when Trent cried. That's when real men cried.
Yeah. I think that does it, guys. I think that's all we got there. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. And as always, Take care.